It's time for an accountability video making my statement to the world. I didn't actually achieve everything I wanted to this year, but as a team we've all pulled together and I'm pretty proud of what we have achieved. So what have we done? So we've won a few awards out there in the industry, which is really cool. There's one called Esther's. We won the gold and the best agency in West Yorkshire, which was pretty incredible. And then something that I've been really striving for a few years now is the Property Investor Awards. And I won the Property Investor of the Year and Property Trader of the Year, along with my company Aspire Property Group and my business partner Daniel Buchan. We also did around 3.5 million this year in my property related businesses, mainly around property trading and deal packaging. We've done 14 buy-to-let properties. We've done a handful of flip deals. We've done 2 new builds. We just completed on our second one through the donor house strategy, which is completely new to us. And then something I'm really proud of is I've started loaning out my own money to other property investors to help them scale their property portfolios. And I've lent out around 1.4 million this year. So I didn't actually do a targets video last year because I was a very new channel. But I'm going to try each year to set my targets and then show you what I end up achieving. And hopefully it'll act as inspiration, but also acknowledgement and transparency of whether I actually did it or not, and hopefully it's going to motivate you to move forward. So that's 2021. What does 2022 look like? A lot of what I've been looking at in 2022 has really been based around an operational focus and the direction that I think the market is going to go in. Property investment, there's a lot of what you can control and there's a lot of what you can't control. And in the macro sense, i.e. the economy and things like that, there is a limit to what you can control and predict. Personally, I think that number one, we are not going to have a crash next year. I think we're going to have a slight reduction in the growth. This year's been about 10% plus. I think the growth next year will be about 5%. But more importantly, I think the speed of transactions is going to lower. That is really good because getting great deals is all about speed and certainty. And now that I'm in a position where I've got a bit of money behind me, I'm able to deliver that for vendors. So I think I'm not going to deep dive around that too much more, but if you want to watch my video on the 18-year property cycle and my latest prediction on the property market, it will give you a much more in-depth understanding of my opinion of where we're at. The other side, the operational focus, is I've done quite a lot of growth in the last few years, and that's great, but it's definitely taken its toll on me and taken a lot more of my time. So whilst I'm still going to be pushing as hard as possible next year, I am going to have a mindset of slowing down to speed up over the next few years after. So I'm going to have a real core focus on operations, procedures, automation, and training of my team. A lot of people, when I do these types of videos, they ask me, well, are you not worried if? Are you not worried about? And the truth is, a lot of my property investments, they're very straight, boring, vanilla buy-to-let properties. So I've got the cash to invest in them and they're safe returns. And that's really important for me. I'd much rather make a little bit less from my investments, but feel safe and secure rather than do a lot of these faddy investment strategies, taking exponential risk for that added reward and then have it tumbling down. So I don't really care if the market goes up 10%, down 10%, slows down, speeds up. I'm just going to do what I can do and follow my core strategy for growth. So first of all, the YouTube channel. I just want to say a massive thank you for all of the support you've given me. This is around 18 months into the channel now. We've happened to achieve 50,000 subscribers, which I'm really proud of. And next year's target, we're aiming for a minimum of 100,000 to 125,000 subscribers. Well, how am I going to do that? Well, it's about value. My mindset is if I add more value to you, you're going to refer me to other people saying, hey, check this guy out. And my aim is to do some really special videos, really increasing the quality, and that's going to take my time up. So I'm going to be spending more time planning, which I'm sure the team will be over the moon about, not winging stuff. I'm going to deliver as much value as possible, but I'm also going to give some unique feels to the channel that hopefully will encourage new viewers to subscribe to the channel and build it as we're moving forward. Next, I'd like to win a couple more awards. Now, do awards really mean anything in business? I think yes and no. There are some awards that you can pay to get, which I stay away from in general because people typically know you've paid for them. Kind of means a lot less. I think it does mean something in terms of brand awareness. It helps if you're an award-winning property entrepreneur. But I also think it's a nice recognition of the hard value that you're putting out there and the effort that you're putting in. So I'd like to win a couple more awards. I probably want them to be different to, you know, not just winning Property Investor of the Year again, although that would be amazing, or Property Trader, which also would be amazing, but looking into some different things. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure what that will be in right now, but I do want to think about some different things. Maybe it's a development or something else, or new project, something interesting that's getting the accolades growing. So I'm not just well known for one thing. I want to broaden my horizons a little bit. In my property related businesses, I'd really like to hit that £5 million mark in revenue next year. That's not profit margins, but gross revenue, I would like to hit around the 5 million. That's going to be mainly focused around my deal packaging and trading business. People always ask, if I sell a property for £500,000, do I count that as £500,000 towards it? No, I think that would be silly, in my opinion. So I'm focusing on the gross profit margins from that. And 5 million would be a really nice, achievable, but tough target to be hitting. I also want to add my favorite boring vanilla buy-to-lets to the portfolio, and I'm going to target 20 new purchases next year. I will try to document every single one on this channel for property reviews and breaking down what I like, what I don't like, and why I went for those properties. So each one that I do, I'm learning new stuff and I want to share that learning with you. New builds are the next thing I want to focus on. I've started in new builds this year following something called the donor strategy, where you buy a property that's got a little bit of land next to it, where I'm going to get planning, develop on that, and then either keep the two properties or sell them on for a minimum of £100,000 profit. And I'm targeting myself to hit 5 of those this year, with a focus around the Southeast and the Peterborough area. The final thing within property directly, which I'm really excited by, and I'm going to share one of my 5-year goals now, is I want to reach a £100 million portfolio in the next 5 years. That is a crazy target because I'm nowhere near, but I want to have a stretch goal, a really big goal, and so it forces me to think differently. And one way I'm looking to achieve that is buying blocks. So instead of buying, or as well as buying, individual buy-to-let properties, I'm going to be looking to purchase my first block of flats. It needs to be a freehold property because, as you know, I don't like leaseholds. So if anyone knows anyone who's got a freehold block of flats between 3 and 5 million, that's going to be my target purchase price. And I'm just going to go for one next year. I like to learn slow before I go big. And finally, I'm really enjoying working with other property entrepreneurs and being able to fund their ventures. So I'm looking to add 1.5 million of my money going into other people's projects on a loan basis. So they do everything, but they've got the ability to come to me for any additional support that I can help guide them through. But I'm going to add 1.5 million to the pot to help them grow their portfolios and make a great return myself as well. So that's really it from me. I've got some pretty big property goals. I've got some big loan goals, and all of those are wealth focused, obviously, but it's also really great focusing on adding value to people, making a house their home. Hopefully it's adding value to you, and that will be reflected in subscribers and views moving forward. And then outside of that, if the world does open up a bit, I want to do a bit more traveling. I'm not going to go traveling around loads. I'm climbing a mountain in I'm climbing Aconcagua in South America in January, which has been a big goal of mine for the last 4 years, and for whatever reason I've put it off. I want to do loads of trips around Europe, and that's just me. And hopefully this video comes across in the right way. I just want the opportunity to get to know each other a little bit better, if I'm completely honest, and maybe just a bit of transparency around what my targets are and what you can expect over the next year in terms of videos. But hey, this isn't just about me, it's about you too, because if I'm going to hit those targets of growing the channel, a big thing's going to be word of mouth. So what are your targets? Let me know in the comments your top 3 targets that you're looking to achieve by the end of next year, 2022. And what I'll do is I'll go through those with my team and plan videos around that, which will hopefully facilitate the solutions to any problems you're coming up with to tailor the content around you. If you're new to the channel, the same goes for you. Put your top 3 targets below, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I promise I will be creating content based on you. And if you got value from this video, make sure to hit the like button before watching your next video.